Welcome back to the podcast First Available, where we talk all things disc golf. It is May 27th, 2024. Happy Memorial Day to everyone out there. I'm returning after taking 2 weeks off, showing you how bad my scheduling is, how bad I am at scheduling. So completely on me that I would take 2 weeks off, both weeks in which there are Pro Tour events, and then return today on Memorial Day when there is no event over this previous weekend. So we don't have much to talk about Pro Tour wise. We will just briefly recap the actual winners of MPO, FPO for the 2 weeks I missed. It's going to be easy on the MPO side of things. Calvin Heimburg returned to Calvin Heimburg form the last 2 weekends and won both the Dynamic Disc Open and the OTB Open. And then the FPO field, I want to say, who was that? Was that Missy Gannon won the Dynamic Disc Open, and Ella Hansen won the OTB Open, which is one of my favorite events. I don't really care for the course so much, to be honest with you. The OTB Open, I like OTB Disc. That's probably honestly the reason why I say that's one of my favorite events. The course itself is, at least this year, was a little lackluster. Nothing bad about it. It's just not. It doesn't have those iconic holes, I feel like. I mean, there's a couple I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that hole, but nothing that really stands out. And it's in California, so yeah, won't ever catch me there. Not that I'll be invited. Anyways, not to segue off things. So let's catch you up on what's been going on the last couple weeks for me personally. And so a couple weeks ago, what do we have going on? I went to Pittsburgh, so you're gonna be seeing a lot of the footage coming out. I have a ton of backlog footage. I got a couple courses that I played out going out to Pittsburgh. I went out there for a roller derby event 2 weeks ago. That's why I was missing in action on the channel as far as the podcast goes. The first week that I missed, I was in Pittsburgh doing roller derby. We did well there. We won. I only played in the first game, and I barely played in that game at that. I did more recording and stuff than anything, but I got to hang out with my friends, and that was a lot of fun. So for anyone that doesn't know, I come from a roller derby and roller skating background prior to disc golf. So whenever they have events that are accessible to me, Pittsburgh being one of them, since it's only a few hour drive, I like to attend those. But yeah, I did the roller derbies, and then so a lot happened. I was planning on, going to Pittsburgh a couple days early, actually, from everyone else that was going there, and that way I could I wanted to hit like 5 or 6 courses. I started feeling sick a couple nights before I was supposed to go to Pittsburgh. It was like right after the last episode of First Available that I had done. I thought it was allergies, and then like 2 days went by, and it got to be Thursday when I was already supposed to be leaving on Thursday afternoon to go to Pittsburgh, and I felt like crap. I couldn't tell if it was allergies or if I was sick. I was taking allergy medication, didn't seem to help. And then we woke up that Thursday morning that I was supposed to leave, and we just had water coming up through our floorboards in the back corner of the house. So one of our pipes busted. So I hung out around the house basically until the last second Friday evening. It wasn't until like 5 p.m. Friday evening that I ended up leaving. And I knew that was going to put a hitch in my plan as far as playing disc golf in Pittsburgh, because I wouldn't get there until, close to, midnight or whatever, Friday nights. And then Saturday and Sunday we'd have derby stuff that I had to be at and not be able to play so much. But with all that said, I was able to stop out on my way out to Pittsburgh, since it was just about to turn dark. I swung out to Zanesville and played Zane State College out there. A pretty fun little course, but there'll be a video coming out for that. I just put out the front 9 of Urbana Hilltop, which that footage is already like a month old. So the back 9 of that footage will be coming out. And then the Zane State College, everything I did in Pittsburgh. I was planning on recording like 3 different courses at least, on top of playing probably like 5 or 6. It ended up that I only played 1 course in Pittsburgh. So Saturday morning, I got up nice and early. I went out to Oak Hollow. I got there at like 7:20, right? Google said that the park opened at 7 a.m. I get there, there's the gates locked. It says opens up at 8 a.m. So I'm like, whatever, I'll wait around 40 minutes. And I do that, and then it gets to be like 8:20. No one's there, so I call the number on the gate, and then they send someone out, and a police officer comes out to unlock the gate, and I see him fumbling at the lock for 5-10 minutes maybe. And he walks over to me because I'm the only person in the area clearly waiting to get into the park. And he tells me that, it wasn't his vehicle that he drove up there, wasn't his key ring, and he wasn't able to find their key. But so he let me know someone else was on the way to address the issue, and it was only maybe a couple minutes later. Got into the park, but that delayed my day, so I was only able to get that one round in at Oak Hollow, which is the same course I actually have played out in Pittsburgh before. I played there 2 years ago. There was a roller derby tournament, and it was I was only in disc golf for 11 months at the time, but I took my bag with me and I played Oak Hollow. It was a really nice course. It was brand new at the time. It didn't even have tee pads 2 years ago. So going to play it this year and seeing how the course has matured and how I play the game has gotten better and has matured over 2 years was pretty interesting. I don't want to say to see because I'm doing it first person, but to feel maybe is the right way. Like I remember kind of struggling on that course 2 years ago, and I wish that I was doing the YouTube stuff back then so I could have recorded it and compared. Like, wow, like in 2 years, like I'm no special player now, but just to see where you were 2 years ago and see how much better you are now. It felt good because I played that course pretty well. But there'll be footage of that coming out. Like I said, I got the back half of Urbana coming out this coming week. And then once I got back from Pittsburgh, it was kind of business as usual around here at home. But last week was kind of another special week. Is part of the reason why I missed the second week in a row was, what was it, Monday? Was Monday the golf day? Man, I'm just like the last few weeks have flown by. Yeah, we had our annual golf outing, which I believe was last Monday. It doesn't seem like that was already a week ago, but it had to have been. Yeah, May 20th. So that's why I missed last week's episode. We have Ross. He coaches youth baseball in the area, and they do their fundraiser this week of May every year, and it's a little golf outing that we've done every year since I moved back here. So that was fun. We did that. No disc golf that day. It's kind of the only downside of the thing. It was blistering hot too, and I wore pants. And there were bad decisions made on every front. I can't play golf for ass. Ball golf. I'm terrible at it. So it was just, I had fun. We had a pretty good little team. We bogeyed hole 1, and then we birdied hole 2, and then we parred into the final hole, which we birdied that one. So for a bunch of guys that don't play golf on the regular ball golf, we did pretty well. But anyways, that's why I missed. But then Thursday, a couple days ago, it's Monday now. Jeez, man, see, this is how quick time's going. This previous Thursday, May 23rd, was Ross's birthday. Happy birthday, Ross. Big shout out, do all the little birthday bell stuff. But each year on his birthday, we usually go on some little excursion to a course out of the area, at least the last couple of years we have. And this year we were planning on actually going up to Urbana Hilltop. But then the weather, it was supposed to be bad weather all day, so we didn't think we were going to be able to play at all. But last second we were able to, and we went to Caesar Ford. And I did record some footage. I didn't mic us up. It was me, Ross, his 2 kids, Landon and Keegan. You've seen on the channel some of the videos. And then Ross's dad. So we had 5 of us out there. I collected plenty of footage, and I'll go through and pull some clips out, but we're not like mic'd up. So it'll be one of those videos where I just put some music over it or something like that and show some cool shots. That catches us up to Thursday. Thursdays are my busy days. So another thing that I do, and I try not to do to me, I'm not like I don't like to get involved in a lot of different like activities or sports, but I joined a kickball league a few years ago. I wasn't able to play last year due to coming off my ACL surgery. I tried playing the first game of the season. I had my ACL surgery in October of 2022. And then when May rolled around of last year, 2023, I played our first game, and I felt pretty good out there, to be honest with you. But I got home, and I was actually working on building this office here. I was painting it. And I told my wife, I was like, I don't feel good. And she kept saying, she goes, you look like crap. Like, you look really pale. to the point where it was freaking me out. And the next morning I woke up, my knee was just like a watermelon. I had to tell him like I couldn't play. So anyways, this is my first year back on kickball in 2 years. And we're already through 2 games. We lost our first game by 1 run. We won last week by 2 runs, I believe. Both games have been close. We had the lead in both games too, but we lost the lead in the first game. But anyways, Thursdays are kickball nights for me now as well. So on top of, we played Caesar Ford, which is a pretty long course, even though we played the short tees. Played Caesar Ford Thursday morning. Then I came home. I mowed the grass. That's another thing I've liked doing lately is I used to mow it on the weekends. I like to mow it on Thursday now. That way it's nice and short and I can enjoy it on the weekend and not have to actually cut it on the weekend. But yeah, I cut the grass. I felt like I did something else too. Well, I played kickball for our kickball league. I still feel like there was something else that I did. I feel like there were 4 things I did that day. But at any rate, I don't know what it was. Like I felt great all day. At home Thursday night, I was playing video games with a few of my friends, and my shoulder. I was like, my shoulder kind of feels. I was like, it feels a little worn, and no big deals. But then I went and laid in bed, and it just really started hurting. And then Friday morning, I woke up, and I knew Ross was already busy. He had stuff going on, so we didn't play our normal round on Friday, which I didn't even hit him up. I told him later. I was like, dude, Friday morning I couldn't lift my arm. Like I couldn't do this at all, where you put your hand up above your head for anyone just listening in. So like there's no way I can throw a frisbee. I took Friday and Saturday both completely off. My family actually went out of town to visit family a couple hours closer in between Columbus and Cleveland on Saturday. So I had the house to myself. I could have went out and played. Like that's what happened on Urbana Hilltop that weekend. My family went out to go visit friends over in St. Louis. So I was like, well, no one here. Instead of just sitting around the house all day picking my nose, I'll go, I'll travel out to a new course I haven't played before. And I would have loved to have done that this past Saturday, but my shoulder just wouldn't allow it. So I sat around the house doing nothing. And then yesterday, well, it was Sunday. I don't know why I guess we're just going to do the day in the life of Chris. Recap my daily life. But anyways, yesterday we went and played Carroll Park here local, nice short course. It allowed me to, I didn't throw anything faster than a 9-speed disc, which I mean no big deal there, but I only threw that 9-speed disc on like hole 11 and hole 12 if I'm not mistaken. Every other hole I threw like a hex was like my max disc, and I played one of my best damn rounds I've played in a while there. I was like 4 or 5 under with a couple bogeys. But I had like plenty of birdies, 5 or 6 birdies or something like that. Played pretty good, but all in all, I knew the shoulder could hold up. And that brings us to today, was with it being Memorial Day, me, Ross, and the boys, Keegan and Landon, we went to do something that me and Ross did last October, where we played kind of multiple courses with having the holiday and everything. We went down to Milliken Mile down in Hamilton, Ohio. Played that course, which is a great park style course. We finished that up, grabbed a quick snack, and then hit over to Miami University in Hamilton, where they have a little course on campus there. It's a little kind of a dink and dunk. There's a few holes that get up above 300 foot, but for the most part, a lot of them are in that 170 to 250 type range. Fun little course. It's perfect for a campus. And same thing when the Zane State College footage comes out here soon. You'll see me talking about it. It's not a good course by any stretch if you're a disc golfer, but it's a great course if you're a college student and you want to play disc golf. If that makes any sense to anyone, it's a short dink and dunk type course. You don't want to put these college students or anyone, doesn't matter what they are. You can put a disc golf course on some privately owned corporation's land. Like you're gonna design that course so that the people that are there will enjoy playing it. Short little holes, not a full style course where you would get disc golfers there for other reasons. So yeah, that catches us up on everything that's been going on with me for the last couple weeks. I am starting to push out a little bit more footage. Now, finally, I got the channel stuff. Had a little bit of delay with me being out of town. It's obviously hard. I can't edit and upload and do all that stuff while I'm driving. But coming up soon. We got a few things happening. Scott Burnett Open, which is my next scheduled. Again, this is gonna be 2 months. I missed a tournament. I didn't do one in April, which I played really bad the entire month of April. May, I've been playing pretty good. Putts feeling pretty good. Drives are feeling pretty good. Short of the shoulder pain. I was actually pushing for us to play Monroe. So what we did is we played Milliken Mile, then we played Miami, Hamilton, 2 18-hole courses, and then back in October, me and Ross, we hit Monroe on the way back, which is a 24-hole course. We just didn't have time for that today. I would have been down for it had we done it. But once we were on the road, driving back about 10-15 minutes after being back in the van, driving back up home, I was like, I'm really glad that we didn't decide to do another course, even if it was just like a 9-hole course, just because my shoulders, 36 holes was enough on it. I want to rest it up. I'm going to actually pull out the ice machine. I got an ice machine from my ACL surgery, and I'm going to put that on the shoulder today, see if that helps. It definitely feels better. I got, full range of motion for the most part. It's tender. I don't think I injured anything serious. I think it's just like a soft tissue type of injury kind of deal, Probably strained it. The thing is, I don't know if I did it in kickball. That's the whole reason why I brought up the kickball stuff. Not to talk about all these different things I do. Kickball, roller derby, disc golf. I try not to do too many things because when I do something, I like to go hard in the paint on it. I mean, I played disc golf one day, and now here I am doing like YouTube channel stuff for it. And I feel the same way about kickball. Like after we lost that first game, I was like, man, I want to go buy a kickball and go out there, because I just show up to the games and play. And I was getting to the point where I'm like, maybe on Tuesdays I can go out and practice. Like I don't have time to do all that stuff. But anyways, I didn't know if I hurt my shoulder throwing disc on Thursday, or if it was from kickball, or if it was just from the multitude of things that I did overall throughout the day. But that's what makes me think it's not a serious injury. It's just, my shoulder's sore. That's it. Couldn't lift it the other day. Like I said, I got full range of motion now. Throws felt pretty good today for the most part. So no issue. We were talking about Scott Burnett Open is coming up, I think, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's Father's Day weekend, June 15th to 16th. So I think that is actually, I'm going to bring you over here to see what I'm looking at on my screen here. So we are in May 15th, 16th. That will be 2.5 weekends coming up. So just past our 3-week mark. 2-day event. It'll be my first 2-day solo tournament. I do the Hazy Shade buy-up every year with Ross, so I'm familiar with doing 2-day tournaments, doubles. We'll see. This is a B tier, so it's going to be by far my biggest solo challenge to date. Obviously, that's a short list. I've only played in 2 solo tournaments altogether. But I'm looking forward to this one. I can't wait to get into another doubles one with Ross. So I really like doing those. It's hard, with us both having kids, and especially he's coaching baseball and stuff. So they got games on the weekend. So we were originally going to try to play the I think there was an Echo Valley Open doubles tournament this past couple days, this past weekend. Because I think it was May 25th. Yeah, 24th, 25th. I think it was a 2-day. I don't know what it was. It was this weekend, and we were talking about doing it, but Ross had baseball games planned for that, and thank God we didn't sign up for it, because I wouldn't have been able to. Yeah, Saturday I couldn't throw. There was a zero chance. Friday I literally couldn't move my arm. I sat in this chair, worked all day and just didn't do anything. And then Saturday was not much different. I mean, I could move my arm a little bit, I couldn't lift my hand above my head. Anyways, I don't need to go back down all that. Coming up, we have the Scott Burnett Open. Like we said, that is June 15th, 16th. That's coming up in 2.5 weeks. I'll be excited. Obviously, after I play that, the podcast will come out the next day on June 17th. So I'm sure I'll break down. With it being a 2-day event, I don't know if I'll just break it all down at once. I don't know if I'll break down the 2 episodes. I need to see what I'm actually doing. So Friday, June 14th. Wait, I'm confused. That's Players Pack pickup. Friday Flex. Oh, there's a Friday Flex. So I'm going to be on my own in the house. Well, let me rephrase. My schedule is going to be pretty open for the month of June. So with that being the case, this is a Friday. I might take that day off, and I might hop into the C tier and just make it a 3-round weekend. I don't know. I might go ham. Let's see how the shoulder feels. But whatever this thing, well, before I say I might do that, let me see if it's even possible. Let's see here. Only 31 registered players, so there should be openings. All right, so I'm going to look through this. I might actually sign up and do this C tier on Friday because I think that would, doing a little single C tier round would help me feel good going into the weekend for the B tier. Or I could just completely blow out my shoulder and elbow and knee and everything else. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I feel bad because I really did want to do one tournament a month this year, and I missed 2 months in a row. I kind of feel like the same thing with the podcast. Like I wanted to do it every week. It made sense to me to take the 1 week off. I was going to be out of town. Like, you can only do so much. And when I started doing this YouTube channel, because this isn't my first trip down YouTube lane. For anyone that doesn't know, I used to do a YouTube channel, and I still have it for my video game stuff. If you're interested, it's at SandSawks, SAND, Sand. Socks is spelled SAWKS. And before you ask me what that means, I made that name up when I was like 13. It's a combination of 2 different minor league baseball teams. So I'm not going to go down that story. I think I went over that story on that channel back in the day. But anyways, I used to do YouTube video game stuff. And it was pretty casual. Like I did some uploads and some actual edits and stuff. And then it kind of turned into doing more live stream because live stream was easier. But anyways, I'd done the YouTube journey. I had seen, some of the struggles of starting a YouTube channel. So when I decided to do this one, this Smith Disc Golf, I made it my priority that it was going to be fun, because if you're going to be not having fun or upset or whatever, if it seems like it's a job, like I remember on the SandSawks channel, I was like, this is my schedule. Like I have to live stream. Like Wednesday nights, it has to be from 9 to midnight. If I want to play video games longer, I can stop the stream. But I just remember being like, oh, it's Throwback Thursday. I had a series on there, Throwback Thursdays, where I would talk about a game from back in like the Nintendo or the Sega days, the games from when I was a kid. And then it would be like Tuesday. I'm like, oh crap, like that video has to be uploaded on Thursday. Like it felt like I had such timeline pressures on me to do that stuff that it made it not enjoyable at all. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't follow down that same path with this channel. So when I first started, it was like, okay, I'll just do like a video a week. And then I kind of got things rolling. I was having a lot of fun with it. I was like, well, in order to grow the channel, they do say like you want to be consistent with your upload, and it makes sense. Like, I'm not just a YouTuber. Like I'm a user of YouTube. That's my primary means of watching any videos and stuff. Like it's rare that I watch Netflix or whatever. I don't have cable. The majority of my consumption of video is on YouTube. I got my favorite YouTubers, Foundation Disc Golf. It's one of my favorite channels, so it makes sense. Like every beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, I'm starting to watch because I know they upload a couple videos early on in the week, and I'm sitting here waiting for their stuff to come out. So it makes sense that to grow your channel, it would be beneficial if you can upload consistently. Now, the consistency part of it, I don't think is important. Like it doesn't have to be 2 videos a week like I've been trying to do. 3 if you include the podcast, right? Because we're trying to do podcasts on Mondays, a short to medium video on Wednesdays, and then a medium to long video on Fridays. Like that's the scaffolding of this channel that I want it to be. But it can't be at the detriment that kind of like today, like I didn't know to skip the podcast today or come in and rush it. It's 7:44 p.m. right now as I'm recording this, so by the time I get it uploaded and stuff, it's gonna be late on Monday. And I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't bite off more than I can chew. I didn't want to get in a situation where I need to go film a video and it feels like I really don't want to do it today. Like if it comes to a point to where there's a Tuesday and I don't have my video ready for Wednesday, it is what it is. We'll miss that week. Instead of making it feel like it's a job and you miss the deadline and then stressing out about it, or just the worst case scenario is, screw it, I got this extra, 6 minutes of footage the other day, I'll just throw it out there and not edit it and it just be crap, right? That's the last thing that you want to do. I would rather, put out stuff that I enjoy doing, stuff that is nice. I like to edit it to the best of my abilities. It's a one-man show over here as far as all the editing and stuff goes. I don't have an editor So all the thumbnails and all that stuff. It takes time to do it all. But the moral of the story is, my outline for this channel was quality over the quantity. And there's a threshold, right? There's a threshold. You can't say, I want everything to be perfect, because I've been down that road with a lot of the projects I've done on stuff, like painting a house, where you start, and if you go outside the line, it feels like, oh crap, like I got to start over. Like this wasn't perfect. So you don't want to fall into that trap either. But you just want to be able to put out good videos, videos that you're having fun, that you got good shots. It's not just crappy footage. Like sometimes you got to scrap an entire thing of footage. I remember one time right before winter really hit, when the channel was kind of new, I went out to Stubbs Park and I was recording an entire round. And it was what was that video? I think that was like an in the bag type video, where I was, instead of just saying here's the discs that are in my bag, like I ended up eventually doing, I was out there throwing. I was like, hey, this is why this disc is in my bag. And I was trying to force these different shapes. And I got through, and I got home, and I went to edit it. And I realized that, like, I didn't have the audio. Like, you could hear me. Like, I was being recorded through the phone's camera microphone, not through my actual clip-on microphones that I use. And the audio sounded like crap. And I had some shots in there that I really liked, and eventually I was just like, I have to scrap this entire, hour and 30 minutes of footage, because it's crap quality, and I'm not going to just put it out there, especially if the audio is bad. I mean, you can get by with some video issues, but if you're out there butchering people's ears, they are not going to like it. Which brings me to my next point. Let's wrap up today's episode as I butcher everyone's ears. So we'll be back next weekend. I'm sure that I will have Landon, Keegan, and Ross, or some combination of the sort, back on the podcast soon. I would like to come back on here and talk about more stuff than just what my plans are and where I've been the last couple weeks. So next weekend we do have Pro Tour stuff coming up, right? So what is next weekend? I know that there's something next weekend. Jonesboro is next weekend. Oh no, it's not. Jonesboro was back in April. I'm at the wrong end of the screen. Hold on. Just so you know why I was wrong. Beaver State Fling. That's right. We're West Coast. So we got Portland Open coming up on this Thursday. I think that's Thursday. Yeah, May 30th should be Thursday. Yep. So 4-rounder, an Elite Series coming up on this coming Thursday. Portland Open. We're doing the whole West Coast stuff right now. So Beaver State Flings after that. I think that's just a 3-dayer, isn't it? Yeah, June 7th, 8th, 9th. So 3-round event. I don't really follow the Euro stuff so much right now. I would like to. I'll probably start getting into that more and more as time goes on. Just got to find the time in my schedule. And then we got Preserve coming up. So June's a stacked month. We got 3 Pro Tour events. We got my own tournament going on, the Scott Burnett Open, which I've never played in before. I played the layout. I'm excited. I really hope that they get the course layout for that here in the next week or so I can get out there and get some practice. Maybe I'll film some of that practice round stuff. And then we'll swing over into the Midwest, it looks like, soon with the I'm going to try to go to Idlewild this year. We'll talk more about that later. But I think that is going to wrap it up for our episode today. Again, I apologize. I was gone for 2 weeks when one of them wasn't planned. The first one was. Try to keep that to a minimum. But as always, I appreciate everyone joining in. If you are watching on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind to give the video a like, that will help out the channel. And if there's any topics or anything you want to see discussed, or if you want to have some kind of shout out if you're a listener, feel free to send me a note. I'm sure you can find ways to get a hold of me, but if all else fails, you can message me through my email, discsmithdiscgolf@gmail.com, or you can message me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Pretty much the only 2 that I do, because I'm a boomer. All right, I'm going to boom my way out of here. You all have a great week. Stay safe. I know it's already late in the holiday, but for anyone that's still celebrating, happy Memorial Day. Visit your family, visit your loved ones. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.